Hello, my friends. Andy with the Andy Falco Show. Sorry I'm late, but the gardeners got here and they were very loud for 1 second. So I apologize that I had to start a little bit late. I was trying to make sure that we didn't have any interference, the best that I could. So we're going to get started right away. One of the things that you're going to want to do, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the recording of this video into the basic portion of the live streaming using StreamYard portion, the basic, which is already out. People are already in. I'm going to actually make it the first 15 because I got a really good response that will get into the next part for a very low price. All right. So the very first part is the basic. It's already up and running, and we've talked about it for a few days now. If you have any questions about what that looks like, I'll be more than happy to show that again. So just go ahead and put in the comments if you want to see what the basic version looks like and what's in the basic version. There's going to be 3 versions of going live streaming using StreamYard 2.0. We're going to have the basic module, the intermediate module, and the advanced module. Oh man, the gardeners are coming back. So hopefully it's not going to be too disturbing. And I may have to do this whole this live all over again, but so sorry what timing I have today. But one of the things, I'm going to give you some homework. So if you're watching the recording in the basic program, what I want you to do as homework, I want you to now begin to look for private groups in Facebook and any other social media platform that you may be able to do that in, like LinkedIn and that kind of stuff, where you have a group of people, like-minded people doing something that is within the niche that you are trying to build an audience with. I am so sorry if that is so loud. It is right out the door. And so I'm going to go through some of the steps that I go through. I belong to a lot of groups, so you don't even want to know how many groups. And a few of them I am very active because what I'm trying to do is to develop myself as a leader in that group and then develop a following that comes out of that group. And it is a very effective way. I learned this years ago what happened? It was when I was beginning my first phase of teaching people how to go live. Before Facebook even had a Facebook Live, I was already... I got a weed whacker and a lawnmower running just 15 feet from this window right here. I am so sorry. But back when Facebook, I know I'm going to have to do this all over again. When Facebook began going live, I'd already been going live in other platforms, right? And so what I did is that I went into a mom's group and became a member of a mom's group. Yes, it was a very large mom's group. And I was putting free information into that group about going live, how important it was for the future of businesses. And now this was back when, again, like days before Facebook had the live platform. I then wrote a book about going live, and then I was invited to speak at one of their events. And so it's very effective to get into a group, put in content, free advice, so that people begin to look at you as, hey, there's a person in our group who happens to know a lot about this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and kind of show you one of the things that you can do. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail as I share. I apologize. I am so sorry. This was pre-scheduled a couple hours ago. Normally they come a little bit later in the evening. I'm not sure why they're here at this very moment, but there was nothing I could do about it. I was hoping to not have this go on, but what can I do? All right, so I'm sharing my screen. This is my Facebook. I get tons of messages. If you private message me, if it takes me a day or two, please understand that it's not you. It's just I can get quite a few. I just cleared them all out today. I had like 30 messages today. So here we are on Facebook. Actually, let me go back to StreamYard and let me get rid of my lower third here and make this a full screen shot. There we go. So at the top of Facebook is a search, right? And so I'm just going to use gardening, right? So gardening, and let's say that your book, your online training program, maybe a group that you're trying to build as one that you're going to monetize from, or a podcast about gardening is about gardening. So in Facebook, you just simply type into you type gardening. Oh, you actually spell it right, not wrong. gardening groups. All right, and so you're going to get a whole series of groups here. Look at, there's going to be a whole bunch of groups as you scroll through here that you can go through and look at. Right? It'll just keep loading. And so let's just say if you go, oh, thank you. Now I was yelling because it was so loud. Sorry about that if you're getting the loud end of this thing. So here's, you got 139K members in this one group in greenhouses and gardens. Now let's take a look. Now, what I want to hopefully see here, oh, darn, no, this is actually, no, here they are. So you have all these rules, right? Be considerate and courteous, which is a good one. No cursing, vulgar language, no arguing. Post about marijuana, not accepted. So if you're in the hemp or marijuana business, this is not the right group for you. No advertising, selling, or trading. So you want to be careful. Know the rules of the group or you'll get kicked out really fast. Stay on topic. No co-op or cross-sharing allowed. So this is very full of rules about spamming and about people, trying to sell something, that kind of stuff. You may want to not join this group right away. However, it is not impossible to build a following in a group like this. I'm just telling you, in the early stages, you want to be more careful, get really good at sharing free information, and then doing things that will allow people to find out who you are personally and then begin to follow you outside of the group. That is the whole key. So let's go back and look at another one. So if I go to creative gardening, and if you can see some of the posts, let's see what happens here. So yeah, you can see some of the posts. These are people sharing, some creative gardens, right? And if this is, again, something that you do, say that your product or your book or whatever is about some type of creative gardening, this may be a group you want to look at where you can begin to post some pictures. Now, early on, understand that the safest thing you can do is begin to post some pictures and allow people to get comfortable with what it is you're doing. And then let's see if there's ever a video. If there's ever a video, then you can, how cute is that? Is that you may be able to shoot a video and in there talk about how you have some really cool secrets about how to make these things even more green or more creative or whatever it is. And that, if you ever want to contact me, I'm more than happy to share some of my secrets with you. Just send me a private message. Really try to not sound like you're trying to sell something, just that maybe the information you have may be better off done off of the group. But again, build first. Don't do that like on the very first day that you're accepted. The one thing you don't want, I'm going to go ahead and come back to my screen for a second. The one thing you don't want is that immediately you go into trying to sell something or trying to give people the feeling that you're trying to, lead them into a lead magnet of some sort or a landing page of some sort. No, the thing you want to do is give, and then give again, and then say, hey, I got this one thing that I just discovered. You would not believe how effective it is. And it's really cool. And maybe leave them hanging. Because then they're going to say, well, tell me more. I said, well, I don't know that I can share that here. I think the rules forbid me from doing that. So if you want to send me a private message, I'm more than happy to do that. Do you see how now you're giving, right? You're giving them good information, but maybe the thing at some point, because you've given enough now, it will be one of those things that allows you to do that kind of thing. Again, be careful. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an idiot. All right. And I'm trying to speak strongly to you because some people are idiots really fast and really early. Leander says, I need this. Yeah. Can I send a bill for free advice? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did you send me free advice? Maybe I missed it. You look like you've been working out. Thank you, Robin. You're killing me, Larry. Actually, giving free advice is how I built my business. Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing that I was telling my daughter, they had a lemonade stand out front. And cookies and a couple different types of cookies, that kind of stuff. And she's heard me talk about, hey, you have to give away free stuff in order to make money. It is one of the most unusual concepts that a lot of people don't get. I tell people that all the time and they go, no, I'm not giving away anything. My stuff is not. Listen, Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard, who else can I, Gary Vee, Russell Brunson. They do nothing but give away. Some of the stuff they give away is solid, good information. I mean, people would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get some of the. You just have to know how to get it and receive it and to begin to use it. And what happens is that you get so much good information from these guys I just named. These are just some of the guys that I'm talking about. Is that at some point you go, I feel guilty. I think I should give them my credit card. I think I should buy a book, right? They even give away books, right? But they charge you for the shipping, right? So a free book with shipping. And then you go, I want to buy that thing. Here's $7 for the free book. For the $7 worth of shipping, right? And so these are guys that really know effectively how to give stuff away. And so my daughter and her friend who had the lemonade stand went down the street and began giving away a cookie, right? They gave away a cookie to some gardeners that were working down the street. They gave a cookie away to one of the neighbors. And then what ended up happening? The neighbor and the gardener came over and bought more stuff. And they reached their goal in an hour and a half. They wanted to make $50. In an hour and a half, they made $50. How did they do that? They gave away some free stuff and they got their goal, right? And this is an advice. What does advice cost you, right? It costs you very little. And so you go back into these groups. Let me go ahead and go back to my screen here. So you go into these groups and you begin to give information. Now, let me go back and find another group, right? These are just really just pictures and things like that. And maybe even at the bottom of a picture at some point, you can put your URL or something like that. Something on there where people look at it and go, oh, I'm going to follow that URL and see where it takes me, and then have that lead to a page of yours. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to look for another group here. Again, I've done this very effectively. This is nothing. Let's go gardening tips. Oh, gardening tips has 1.1 million people. 1.1 million people. That's a good one. All right. So you're in this group with 1.1 million people. Now, understand that 1.1 million people aren't active usually in a group, but when you have that high numbers, you probably have a couple thousand people that are actually pretty active. Oh, I have to actually join first. Darn it. Well, I was hoping to see sometimes you can see some of the stuff in there. Let's see. When you join a group, let's see if it comes up. Yeah. So, I can join. I'm going to see. San Diego Backyard Gardeners, 1.1 million people. Wow, that's pretty crazy. So let's join the group. Now, sometimes questions will come up. Yeah. So here are the questions. Your membership, where do you live? So you probably have to live in San Diego. Where are you? What are your favorite types of plants? Oh, I don't know. Green ones. Oh, fruit plants. I guess they're that kind of thing. Exit without, yeah, I'm going to exit without answer. They won't approve me because I didn't answer the questions. Let me just find another one. Hold on. I'm going to find another one here. 1.5 vegetable gardening. Let's see what this comes up. Oh, Amy Feltz is in there, and Amy Feltz happens to be on my thing. I think Amy is on my live stream. How funny is that? That's probably one of the reasons why it got suggested to me. I seen this on one of her posts. This ostrich or somebody else had it on there. Oh, there's a video. Good. So what I was looking for. Oh, here we go. All right. So here we got. It looks like blog posts maybe. Of some sort, and this is really cool. All right, and this is Eric being on right now is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. This is what I was looking for. So here you see you have blog posts, which are awesome. This is awesome, right? And I'm trying to just make sure that they're not a gardening channel. What was this other one? Sorry, my thing, a gardening channel. I want to make sure they're not all from the same source because this could be the gardening channels page. I'm looking to see if there is another source that is being used here. Hold on. I'm going to just continue here. I'm so sorry. It's dragging along. Oh, yeah. So this is from Renaissance of Beauty. So you have people sharing stuff, quite possibly. And again, you're going to have to look at some of these things a little bit. And it may take a little bit of work, but take a few hours and start searching. Start searching the groups. The reason I'm laughing is because the gardener is like just right out there again. Let me look one more thing. So a lot of gardening channels. So this is obviously, it says right here, gardening channel. I was just hoping that maybe they allow other people to put some blog posts in there, but it looks like it's just solely, for the most part, gardening channel. Although I did see one from somebody else. All right. So why is that important? I'm going to come back to my screen again. So if you can get in a group that allows you to put blog posts, that is fantastic. Okay. So what you can do is on your channel, whatever that is, right? It could be your personal page. It could be a business page where you're doing live broadcasting, talking about gardening. You take your phone out to the garden. You talk about soil. You talk about fertilizer. You talk about, pruning and all the different things that have to do with gardening and all the different types of plants that are out there. And you do these live broadcasts for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, what have you. And you begin to talk about that thing, right? And then you end your broadcast with a couple call to actions, like go to my website or go to my, Kajabi website where I train you how to do these things, whatever it is. Go to my landing page. You have these call to actions, whatever they are. All right. So what you do now is you take and you use a tool, which is my friend Eric is very aware of, that you find by going, and I'm going to give you a place to go where you can click on a link. Wow, I got a spider crawling on my face, where you can have your live transcribed, and now you reuse that as a blog post, and you post that on your website. And now what you do is then you post the blog post in one of these private groups, and you say, hey, I got this blog post that it talks about this very subject matter that the person in maybe the last comment or whatever was talking about, and it's from my blog, and it shows you how to do that thing. It shows you exactly what steps you need to take in order to make this happen, whatever that is. And now you post that in there, and what's in that blog post? Your information, right? Your call to action that was in your live, your website, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your Pinterest, your whatever is all in there for people to click on and start to follow you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're taking, now remember yesterday I talked about repurposing your live replay or recording, having it transcribed using a tool that I have available to you. If you just simply go to this website right here, joinmelive.live. If you go there, you're going to see that's my landing page for the live streaming using StreamYard 2.0. Right, you'll go there. Now you can purchase for $4.99 right now until Monday. But if on that same page for free is my tools PDF, also created using the same tool I'm telling you about right now. Click on that and you'll get a free PDF. It has all the tools that I use to repurpose my broadcast, how I have them transcribed, what I use to send them into other platforms, what I use to turn them into snippets where you have the closed captioning at the bottom of the page. The tools that I use to do that are on that PDF. So go to joinmelive.live. You don't have to purchase anything and click on that button, the PDF. Click on that and you'll get all my tools. Follow the URLs that are in there, please. I would appreciate that because they're all affiliate links. So that'd be great. And then if you want to purchase, you can purchase going live streaming using StreamYard 2.0, which will teach you how to go live and do exactly what I'm doing. All right. So the beauty in being in those groups, if you've done your research, is that you find the ones that you are allowed at some point. All right. This is super important. At some point where you begin to put in information that will lead people to where you have your stuff. But again, I can't, and I'm going to, and I know I need to say this probably at least 2 more times before I sign off, is when you go into a group, don't be a weirdo, don't be an idiot, don't be a moron and try to sell something early. Wait until you build up your authority. The people are excited to see that you've posted something because you always give away some really good content that they can use immediately. What did I say? Use it immediately, right? You don't want to go, all right, well, I'm going to give, let me show you something. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to stick with gardening, right? I'm going to show you, here's a pot, here's a plant. And then you have something right here, like here's a super ingredient, right? It's plain wrap. There's nothing on there. And what you do is you pour this stuff in here. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I make it in my kitchen and I pour it in here, and then you put the plant, and then the plant grows like 10 times faster and more voluptuous. Is that a word for plants? I don't know. Voluptuous than any other plant on the planet. If you want to know what this is, you're going to have to contact me. No, don't do that. In the beginning, you're going to say, look, I got this great stuff right here. And in it is vinegar and coffee grinds and a little bit of farfignugan, and a little bit of hemoglobin. You put those things in there together, you pour it in there, that will grow your plant so fast. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, that is the whole recipe. You just use a teaspoon of this, a tablespoon of that, and three shots of something, and you put it all together. And so you're going to give that away, and they're going to be able to use it immediately, and they're going to end up seeing results, and they're going, oh my gosh, that Andy, that Green Thumb Andy guy is amazing. The other day, he just put a post in there where it changed the whole look of my garden. It made it incredible. And then you know what you're going to do the next time that you go into that group? You're going to do the same thing, but something different. And it's going to be just as fabulous, if not more fabulous. And you're going to continuously do that. And then finally, at some point, you're going to do a video and say, I got this thing that I'm doing. I'm not sure if anybody's interested. If you're interested, contact me privately, because I have this program that I'm developing, and it would be great to have a few of you in here. Right now, I'm broadcasting into a group. All right, right now I'm broadcasting into a book creation group, and what am I doing? I'm telling you how to do something for free, how to build your following by going into a group. I'm giving that information away for free. I did another one yesterday about repurposing, right? I have a free gift to give you so that you have to take action and get in there and get that PDF. But I'm going to give all that information to you for free. Right? The only thing you need to do is go to that URL. Right, so I'm already established in that group. Why? Because it's my group. Right? I'm not doing this the first time in. The group that I'm in right now, where I'm sharing this information, is my group. And if they're there, it's because of me or Everett O'Keefe or one of the other great, John North or somebody else, one of my other business partners on that group, and they're in there for that guy and not maybe necessarily for me. But I have the more freedom to say, hey, I'm going to give you this stuff. The only thing I ask of you is go to the URL and click, and then you get it for free, because I want them to take a step. Every time you can get somebody to take a step, you're getting them further and further into your funnel to where they'll finally open up their wallet and take out that credit card. All right. So the first is giving stuff away for free, for where they have to do nothing other than follow your directions and see success. And then at some point, you're going to have them click on something or type in something to get something for free. And then you're going to have them go to a landing page where they have to give you your name and email address, right? So now you can have their information, so you can begin to speak to them and give them more, maybe even more free, fantastic stuff. And then at some point, you may want to do a tripwire. A tripwire is something that costs very little. What costs very little? The program I'm telling you about right now, that's $4.99, right? That would be a tripwire. Some people even go lower, like $1.99. Some people go $6.99. It depends on what it is that you feel is comfortable for you. But I think the value that's in my training program right now, to the basics of going live using StreamYard 2.0, is well worth $4.99, because what I do, I took about 3 hours of creating videos, put them together in a format that are easy to follow. I'm using my expertise that I've developed over the last 20 years going live and broadcasting, and the tools that I've used, the failures that I've had, and that kind of stuff. And so I would think that at least that information is worth $4.99. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now you get into these groups, do a little research on Facebook, do a little research in LinkedIn. Maybe, I don't know if there's groups. I don't know Instagram well enough. I know that Pinterest, I think, has little private groups you can get into, that kind of stuff. But that's where you're going to begin to give information. All right, so go to joinmelive.live, joinmelive.live. In the intermediate program, what I'm going to tell you to do, show you how to do, is how to get a branded URL like joinmelive.live, and then have people be sent to something else. Sent to a landing page, sent to a Kajabi website, sent to a Facebook page or a group using a branded URL. I'll show you how to do that in the intermediate portion of the training program. All right. So if you're in now, if you're one of the first 15 people, I think I have room. The only reason I already reached the first 10, and it was much faster than I thought, because I've kind of only announced this in very small portions. But I already got the first 10, and so I'm just going to say the first 15. Just add 5 more, and you guys will get access to the intermediate portion for a very low price, extremely low, lower than the $4.99. All right, so go ahead and check that out. All right, transcribing to create a blog post is a brilliant idea. Yes, it is. Thank you. It's not obviously it's not my idea. I've stole it from somebody else. Gardening, you mean growing weed? No, you missed that part where I went into a group where you can't do that. Nabi from Australia. I just got here. It's 6:15 a.m. Sunday morning. Can you start? Yeah, I'll start again. You can hit the replay is what you can hit. All right. I look for how long a person has been in my groups before I consider their actions inappropriate. Nice. Don't join and post in the same hour is very suspect. Absolutely. Thank you, Eric. I should have you on this broadcast. As a matter of fact, I will probably have Eric on a broadcast coming up very shortly to talk about the tool that we're talking about right now. Actually, giving free advice is how I already said that. All right. So I'm going to go one more time. Let's go ahead and take a look really quick. Oops. Dang it. There we go. I'm going to leave that thing there at the bottom so you remember where to go. Joinmelive.live. I'm going to redo this because of all the shenanigans that was going on around me when I first started. I was trying to avoid, but why not continue at least on this one? And I'll redo it again. All right. Did you see? Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I clicked too fast. Do-it-yourself garden group. 8.1 thousand. That's not a lot, but let's just see what's in there. Do-it-yourself garden group. Where? How come I didn't go? Are things freezing up here? Things could be freezing up. Yep, things are frozen up here. Hold on. I've asked too much of the internet apparently here. Come on, baby. Come on. Give me what I want. What the heck? All right, let's find another one. That one's not working. Oh, the psychic medium. How'd she end up in the gardening area? Wow, that was a long delay. Did you see that? I clicked that button 30 seconds previously, and it's just now going through. What the hell is going on? Let me see where I'm at. No, I'm on the correct website. Wow, what happened? I must have clicked on something way out of line there. There we go. Whew. So sign up. Oh, this is when you have to sign up for. All right, this is going to take a little bit more. Wow, what's happening? Did they hit something outside? Maybe they hit my internet outside. Matt here, founder of this is more of a private type of group where it looks like this is somebody that could use this advice, right? They have their own private group here, and it's specifically so they could sell their stuff. So that's completely different, obviously, than a group of people sharing information. So this is a business group where they are. This is where they're making money, right? This is where they're selling their stuff. So it's highly unlikely that you could do anything in regard to putting any of your information in there. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to my screen. So you see a little bit of the work there. You're gonna have to go to a group, find out a little bit of what it's all about if you can, maybe even join and kind of visit in there for a while and see what's happening and see how free it is. But again, I'm not telling you to be weird. I'm not trying to steal anything from anybody. I want you to go into a group where this type of thing can be done, where you're giving value to the group, where you are welcomed and able to give this information. Everybody at some point is going to know that you are in the business of teaching people, helping people with their gardening, and you want to be accepted. You don't want to be kicked out in the early stages because you are trying to take people out and sell them something. You want to be a person known as giving value. And then when you are then going to say, hey, I got some stuff here. If you're interested, if you want to join me, feel free, that it's more welcome because you've already given enough, right? You've given so much stuff that they say, oh yeah, you can, tell people that you got something going on because you've proven yourself as the authority. And the only reason they're going to come out and do something with you is because you've added that to their page, right? Whoever's running the page wants to make sure anybody that's in there is giving value, so people love it there. And if you are this leading expert, so let's. I'm going to do one more thing. Let's take an example of. Shoot, let me think of somebody. Hold on, I'm going to try to come up with somebody here. Man. Let's go. I'm trying to think of somebody that you guys might know. You may not know Molly Mahoney. Molly Mahoney is she teaches people how to do live broadcasting, right? And how to come on and be able to look, interesting, how to put a broadcast. She was one of my students, and now she's making an incredible killing in this business. And she is just a leading expert on teaching people how to present themselves and go live. It's called Prepare Performer, as where it started, and I'm not sure if it's changed names or if she's gone even further, but she's somebody that gives away stuff like crazy. So using her as an example, if you are somebody who is teaching people how to go on stage or audition or present themselves on television, that kind of stuff, a person you might want in your group is Molly Mahoney, because when she comes in, she's giving good information, talking about makeup, talking about presentation, using your voice, projecting your voice, your backgrounds, your presentation, how you speak, landing page, all this kind of stuff, right? So having her in your group, if you are a group leader, would be beneficial because she's going to bring value to your group. People go, oh my gosh, Molly, not only do we have all these great people, but we also have Molly Mahoney. She's fantastic. And at some point, Molly's going to say, hey, I have this great program you might want to be a part of, or I have an event coming up. The people that own that group are going to be okay with it because Molly Mahoney brings value to that group. And on occasion, if she has an event going on, they're going to be thankful and benefit from the fact that they are hosting her, having her come in every so often as a leading expert, to give good, solid information that benefits the group, even though on occasion some of the people leave the group to go and follow what it is that she is doing. She's not stealing or taking. As a matter of fact, she's enhancing the group because of that association. Does that make sense? And so you want to become Molly Mahoney. Right? That person. You don't want to be, some other person that comes in and right away you're trying to take people out because you've not built up that trust and relationship with the organizers of the group. Make sense? All right. So I hope that all helps you out there just a little bit. Again, look for me doing this again. You're going to say, didn't you just do that the other day? I may wait a couple days to do it again. I'm going to actually watch the replay of this and see how horrible it is. And then decide if I need to do it again. It was a little bit distracting for me here. I'm not sure if you could hear all the racket that was going on around me, but it was pretty intense. It was loud. I could barely hear myself. That's how loud it was. I have a pretty good mic here, the Rode mic, that cancels out much of that noise. So this is the Rode mic that I use right here. It's hard to see. Let me see, go background. So it's a pretty good, it actually just takes my voice. But if it canceled out all that noise that was going on, then you know that you have to buy this mic. It's about $400, $400 or $500. It is incredible. It is actually on the list that is free when you go to joinmelive.live. That's on that page. You just click on it. It's free. Click on that page, get that PDF. And then while you're at it, why not spend $4.99 and get into my training program where you can get a huge discount on the intermediate part that will be coming up in the next couple weeks. All right, so go ahead and do that. But this Rode mic, if you did not hear a lawnmower and a weed whacker working side by side, merely 20 feet from my studio, then you got to get one of these Rode mics. I cannot wait to see what it sounded like. All right, if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and please post those in there. That would be great. If you don't know what StreamYard is, go to getstreamyard.live. Getstreamyard.live. I have used a lot of live broadcasting platforms over the years. I love Getstream. Getstream. I love StreamYard. Let me have a drink. This is not alcohol, but let me have a drink just to kind of give myself a break here. What a day I already had. All right. StreamYard, right? If you, StreamYard is fantastic. There's something that I really love about certain products, and that is, do they work? Are they stable? Are they simple enough for me to give advice to people and show other people how to do it, and they can catch on if they've never worked some of these tools before? If it's that kind of tool, and does it expand into a more professional usage? And I love tools that answer all those questions. But the most important question is support. How is their support? I have tools that I use that I think are really good, but I will never tell you about them because their support sucks. All right. And I tell you, never, never, ever. There's a couple of them, never. All right. I have two that I use that their support is horrible. I will never tell you about them. It's not because I'm trying to keep a secret, because I don't want you to come back to me, because what you're going to end up doing is asking me how come these things are broken? How come they're not working? This thing is horrible. I know it works for me, but they have a horrible support. So I'm not going to tell you. But StreamYard, and not that BeLive. I used BeLive for a long period of time, for 4 years or something. I don't know how long they were around, maybe 2 years. But I use it for a very long time. I have hundreds and hundreds of broadcasts using BeLive. And their support also is pretty good, but it's not as good as StreamYard, number one. Number two, StreamYard has their own dedicated servers, and so their platform is a lot more stable. And I've had fewer issues online with StreamYard than any of the other platforms that I use, even Ecamm and Blue Jeans and Zoom and all the others, right? StreamYard is just really straight. The most important thing about StreamYard is their support. Gage and Dan are great. Very few complaints. Sometimes, when things grow so quickly and they're trying to hire people quickly, there's going to be a lag sometimes in the response in support. But I can tell you that hasn't happened very often with StreamYard, but they are growing by leaps and bounds. Some very famous people are now using StreamYard. When I joined StreamYard, very few people were using it. Now, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are using it. And of course, they're going to be a little bit more busy. Even with that, their support is fantastic. On top of that, they have a show that they do every Sunday where they ask you questions, members of the community, what it is that needs to happen to make it better. What has gone wrong, what has gone right, what tools are coming up. And they do this every Sunday. I don't think that they've missed since they've launched. It's been over 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know how long they've been around now. I've forgotten, but they've done it every Sunday. I don't know that they've missed a Sunday. It's possible. On occasion, I think it's either only been Dan or only been Gage, but for the most part, they've been there every Sunday talking about what's coming up next or what's launched now or what it is that you want us to add. And as long as it doesn't complicate the platform, they're willing to do it. So support for me is key, and StreamYard has that going for them. Ives says, I love StreamYard. I don't know many people who don't. I don't, it's rare that somebody just says, well, it's okay. I'm sure there's somebody out there that will say it's just okay. But I'm telling you, if you have experience using all the other platforms, you're going to love StreamYard. There's no doubt about it. And if you're new, just go ahead and get StreamYard because you don't want to be frustrated by the other ones that have some issues from time to time. So go to getstreamyard.live, getstreamyard.live. And again, if you want to get into my program or even get that free PDF that gives you all the tools, then go to, sorry, I was clicking on the wrong thing, joinmelive.live, joinmelive.live, $4.99. Get in there and start looking at those videos. I talk about creating your character before you go live for the very first time. That doesn't mean creating some imaginary character. It just means knowing who you are. I talk about the importance of that. Sorry, this thing's carbonated. That you want to know who you are before you go live, exactly who you are going to present yourself as, right? And again, I'm not saying fake. I'm just saying that you want to know exactly who you are so that when people show up, they know who they're going to get. Don't be, one person one day doing something else another day, that kind of thing. You want to be pretty focused. Don't be like me. I have like 5 different shows going on. I have a dog training show. I got another one on politics. I have another one doing this, and I have another one teaching people some other stuff. All right, so don't do that. The next one is about. I may be out of order here. I've forgotten now. But another one about lighting, another one about backgrounds, another one about connectivity, how to make sure that your broadcast is as strong as possible. I have a whole video on how to do that to make sure that's going on. And then there's an example of going live. And there's two other videos on other things like equipment and being prepared and all that kind of stuff. So those are all in there now. The next bit in the intermediate is going to be how to repurpose your live broadcasts, what to do with them, how to use them to create other blog posts and that kind of thing, podcasts, that thing, using repurposing that one live that you did like yesterday into a lot of other platforms, and then some of the tools, how to brand yourself will be in the intermediate portion. And more stuff. All right, so we'll get into that, how to transcribe and that kind of stuff in the intermediate portion. All right, so just go ahead and get in now. Why not? Hey, Denise, nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, so there you have it. So, but use this. Start doing your homework. Even if you've not gone live before, it starts getting into groups, maybe 3 or 4 of them. Really begin to establish yourself as somebody who gives information. Give. Make a couple of recordings. Put them in there, right? Don't ask for anything. Don't put any URLs in there. Just give good, solid information. Type a couple things, show a couple pictures, talk about some brands that you think that work for you, that may work for other people. In the comments of some other people's postings, give good information. Somebody may say, hey, does anybody know of a good blah that works with blah, right? Somebody will have one of those things. And then in the comments, you're going to say, because of your expertise, say, oh, you know what? I love that question. As a matter of fact, this is my experience, and you may want to try one of these things. This one works for me. And then maybe another comment. Oh, and by the way, you may want to use this other one also. If that one doesn't work for you, I have this other thing. And so now, not only are you active in the creating posts, creating content, you're also active in answering questions, and you're giving value to that group. You're building yourself up as that person in the group who seems to always have the answers people are looking for. All right, then. And only then can you now put in a blog link that may link to you and something you have going on. Or even message the owners of the group and say, hey, I got this thing coming up. I got a seminar coming up where I'm going to be teaching people how to do this thing. Do you want to be a part of it? And maybe somehow, because you're allowing me to do this, I can make sure that people sign up for your group, right? There's always this reciprocity. Is that how you say that? Somebody write it in there. Maybe I can pronounce it for what? Reciprocity. How does he say that? Reciprocity. Come on, Nobby. How do I say that? Ives, how do I say that? Denise? I'm saying it wrong. I'm missing a syllable or something, a vowel. Somebody give me a vowel. How do you say that word? I'm waiting. I know a comment's going to come up at any second here. It's going to come. Somebody knows the word that I'm looking for. Amy knows. I know somebody's going to put it in there. Reciprocity. Yeah, reciprocity. I was just kind of pronouncing it. I was kind of butchering it. Reciprocity. Yeah, that thing. Thank you, Nobby from Australia. I knew it had to be Nobby, of course. Now I got to give him props. So yeah, reciprocity, where you go and say, hey, owner of the group, I got this thing coming up. How would you like to be a part of it somehow, and see how this kind of fits in it? And Eve's, he put reciprocity too. Yeah, I guess I was kind of saying it right. It just sounded funny coming out of my mouth. I normally don't use those kinds of words. Those are way too big for me to use. All right, my friends, I appreciate you and your attention on this Saturday in the middle of the afternoon, and in some places in the early morning hours, Nobby, and your attention and your comments. But go ahead and go into joinmelive.live, joinmelive.live. Get in there. I would get in there right early, because if you get in and you're one of the first 15 people, you're going to get into the intermediate group at a very low price. All right. And you won't be sorry. All right. That is it. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Have a great Saturday. Bye-bye.